and also their essential services such as HVAC, plumbing, electrical, alarm systems. This is important because from time to time you'll need to have monitoring of those systems.
Hi, I'm Caroline Gow in the Baird and Warner Glenbrook office, and today I've invited Mark Fitzgerald to come in and talk to us. He has a company that I think you're going to want to know more about. So, Mark, thanks for joining us today.
Great to be here.
Yeah, so tell me about your company. What's the name of it?
So it's called Fitz Home Watch, and it's a protective home watch service that we provide for absentee homeowners who are away from their homes for extended periods of time. And I perform a variety of services in and around their homes so that the home looks lived in, and also their essential services such as HVAC, plumbing, electrical, alarm systems. This is important because from time to time you'll need to have monitoring of those systems. In case an emergency happens, I can be there at a moment's notice to make sure that if there's a storm and the sump pump might be not operational because the power has gone out, I'm available to have emergency services provided for that.
So your clients are mostly snowbirds or people who have a second home?
Absolutely right. So a lot of people now have a second home, are traveling there more. Due to COVID, more and more people have accelerated their timeline on when they're going to be using their second homes. They're working remotely from those second homes, so it could be a couple of months that they're away from home, or it could be the entire winter season.
When did you discover that there's a need for this service?
Well, I had two friends who were living, one in Arizona and one in Florida, and we had a storm that had tornadoes touch down. And so they immediately needed to know if everything was functioning properly in their home. So they called me, and I was able to go over there and check it out and make sure that everything was okay. And that was just a great peace of mind to have for them. And then since then, I've had other clients now who are working with me on a regular basis.
Has there been an uptick in absentee owners lately?
I think we've found, yes, that there's definitely an uptick. The numbers statistically are definitely up with the number of people that are now traveling because their office is still in a kind of a remote state, business owners, business travelers, and they're able to work from these second home locations just as they would here in Chicago. So that's definitely accelerated the process. I think there's more and more people who just like the idea of having the ability to have someone look in and check in on their property and make sure all their services are functioning correctly. So yes, the numbers are definitely up.
So how does it work? If I'm a prospective client, I call you, you come out and see the home and meet with me. What's the process look like? So yes,
contact me via email or a phone call, and I provide an inspection of over 40 different services that I provide. It's a checklist that we go through and agree upon of the services that I'll do while you're away. And I'll provide you with a weekly report. So it's a 1-week visit over the course of a month, so I'm there every single week. And then I provide the report. You can have it weekly or you can have it monthly. And that's for the length of your time away.
Okay. Are there various programs that people can sign up for, or is it like one-stop shopping? Or?
It's really designed to be both interior and exterior home protection. If the services required are more complicated, for example, you know that you want to have your furnace inspected and confirm that that everything is working correctly, I can be there for you to order the service, be there while the technician provides it, and then give you the follow-up and submit back to you the cost on doing that.
And do you have a 24/7 hotline or number that if something happens in the middle of the night, you can handle that?
Yeah, absolutely. So this last spring we had tornadoes touching down. We had a major storm, and my client was in the UK, and he's 8 hours ahead. There was no way he was going to know if that we were having this storm. So I went over there, and I basically made sure that his sump pump was working correctly. And it was working, but it was being taxed. So he's in a floodplain, and when I had to make sure that he was going to get the service that was needed so that his sump pump broke down, he wouldn't get flooded. So immediately called the next morning for a licensed plumber to come out. We installed a double battery sub pump unit. So, and he, took care of the costs on that, the owner. But it was done, and he didn't have to worry about it any longer.
That's worth everything for the peace of mind.
Yeah.
Tell me about a situation you were able to help a client like your client from UK avoid a disaster. Do you have another example?
Well, I do. Actually, a family member who was living remotely in Palm Springs, my brother, and he had sold his house, but he had that time lag where his property was, they had not closed, but he was traveling. So he called me and asked me, he said, I'm getting a lot of my mail and information still sent to the house. Is there any way you can send it back to me? Can you FedEx this to me? Absolutely. So the United Postal Service is not quite as good as it used to be, and people are still getting a lot of documents sent to their home. So I'm able to go ahead and package that up and FedEx it out to the homeowner. In addition, he had a vehicle there that he wasn't operating, and so it was several months where that vehicle was sitting idle and the snow was being plowed up against it. So I went and started up the vehicle and made sure that everything was working well, and I can provide those types of services at a moment's notice.
So you do provide sort of concierge type services. You're not actually shoveling the snow, but you're calling to get. What if you were gone for spring break and you weren't expecting a snowstorm? But if you were in town, then you would know to call the plow and get that shit going.
Yeah, I could certainly provide the list of 30 different services that I do on a normal basis, but some people like the idea of having someone here in the market and say, well, I really didn't get to this that I needed to. Is there a way you might be able to order that for me? Snow plowing is an example. I have a list of a book of preferred vendors, and I also work with the homeowners vendors. Where you have licensed plumbers or you have licensed HVAC people that you normally use, well, I would be the person that could do that. Could have them contacted and come, and I would wait with them and make sure that service is provided correctly and then take care of that with you.
So do you work on an hourly basis, or is it more contracted by the week? How does that work?
Generally speaking, the service is a visit of at least one time per week. I'll do one time per week for 4 consecutive weeks on a monthly basis. We contract for the season for as long as the homeowner is out of town. And if additional services are required, if they need me to come and do some other, like a concierge type service, I can do that on an hourly basis.
Okay, cool. Is there anything else you wanted to share with us about your business?
Well, it's very easy to get started. All it is really a home inspection that takes maybe half an hour. And I'm there and I'm available and I'm in the market. I live in Northbrook and I'm servicing an area, about 20 to 30 minutes drive time.
Okay.
And that's because I want the clients to know, the homeowners to know that I can be there within a very short period of time.
Right, that's a main thing. If there's a flood, you got to be able to go and handle something.
Exactly.
Right. So how can people get in touch with you?
They can call me. My number is 224-763-7654, or just email me at mafitzgerald07@gmail.com.
Fantastic. I look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at Caroline Gao. Every Tuesday we post new content of local businesses, renovation projects, and market updates to keep you in the know in Northbrook. Bye for now.